aquifer, Kirkwood-Cohansey, that exists under its grounds, and to give a place to protect those species and also people that lived in that area for years to come. Governor Murphy has the opportunity to appoint Pinelands commissioners that not only will restore the integrity to the Pinelands, but also to support Pinelands protections. There are 7 governor-appointed individuals to serve on the commission, all on expired terms. It is within their right for each governor to appoint those people, but also to respect the plan and the act that was created in order to protect this area. And so in order for us to depoliticize the Pinelands Commission, we need Governor Murphy to restore that integrity by taking back those seats that were set up intentionally for a particular project under Governor Christie. Sorry, a little extra background noise here. So we have an array of groups here today. You can tell by the crowd, you can tell by the organizations that are present that this is an important matter. It is perfect timing. It is such an important matter that we have so many organizations here today that are going to express comments about the need for Governor Murphy to make appointments as soon as possible, why this is necessary, and what the people have said, the general public has said about this urgency. So first, I would like to make note of some of the organizations that are here that won't be giving comments, but obviously support this need, including New Jersey Highlands Coalition, the New Jersey Environmental Lobby, Save Barnegat Bay, American Littoral Society, People Over Pipelines, and Don't Gas the Pinelands Coalition. And I will start with our lineup. So here to speak today we have Drew Tompkins from New Jersey Audubon, followed by Lena Smith from Food and Water Watch, Janet Toro from Clean Water Action, Allison Mitchell from New Jersey Conservation Foundation, Alex Ambrose from New Jersey League of Conservation Voters, Doug O'Malley from Environment New Jersey, Jennifer Coffey from the Association of New Jersey Environmental Commissions, and Jeff Tittle from Sierra Club. So thank you, everyone. I'll turn it over to Drew.
As Jacqueline mentioned, I'm Drew Tompkins with New Jersey Audubon. In less than 1 year, Governor Murphy has already made giant strides to reposition New Jersey as an environmental leader. He has made addressing climate change a key issue of his tenure by starting the process of rejoining RGGI, promising to uphold the Paris Climate Accord, and signing legislation to prevent offshore drilling on our coast. His administration is also working to make us a clean energy leader by announcing the largest solicitation of offshore wind in the country at 1,100 megawatts, and signing into law a commitment to 3,500 megawatts by 2030. The governor is doing all of this while also working to incorporate a justice lens and ensuring that benefits of environmental protection and clean energy are available to all New Jersey residents. It's been a busy 10 months, and we are grateful for everything Governor Murphy has already done, the things I listed here as well as many others. But there's still work that needs to be done, including ensuring protection of one of our state's greatest resources, the Pinelands. We need the governor to appoint new commissioners who follow the science and will uphold the comprehensive master plan. The Pinelands, as you will hear from many of our other speakers and environmental advocates today, is vital for drinking water protection. It's a unique biosphere that is home to species not found anywhere else on the planet, and it serves as critical wildlife habitat. Ensuring the Pinelands continue to be protected is of the utmost importance, and that starts with the appointments of commissioners by the governor.
Good morning. As Jacqueline mentioned, my name is Lena Smith. I'm the senior organizer with Food and Water Watch. And as we discussed, the Pinelands are a precious natural reserve. They're home to hundreds of threatened and endangered species and are a source of clean drinking water for millions of people. The Pinelands Commission was formed in part in response to the proposal of an oil pipeline being constructed through the Pinelands. And it now faces new threats of oil and gas infrastructure being built. It's crucial that now more than ever, the integrity of the Pinelands Commission is upheld. Governor Christie played politics with the Pinelands Commission to advance his own agenda. He and his allies in the legislature forced through commissioners who are beholden to their own agenda. Now Governor Murphy has an opportunity to reverse the directions of the Pinelands Commission the direction that the commission went during the Christie administration and strengthen the integrity of the Pinelands Commission. With threats of climate change increasing, agencies like the Pinelands Commission are ever so important to mitigating the impacts. Governor Murphy claims to be a climate leader, and he can make good on that claim by appointing commissioners to the Pinelands who will uphold their oath and protect the Pinelands. Thank you.
My name's Janet Toro. I serve as the New Jersey Board Chair of Clean Water Action. So there are places on Earth that are so unique and so special that they should be considered sacrosanct, never to be interfered with, especially for corporate, commercial, or industrial purpose. And the Pinelands is one of those places. And now it's up to Governor Murphy to make sure that it stays that way by naming new members to the Pineland Commission who will uphold the mandate and by changing leadership. Pinelands Commission is a 15-member volunteer quasi-judicial body that is mandated to preserve, protect, and enhance the Pinelands National Preserve. Its biodiversity, as was mentioned, is unmatched. It holds the distinction of being a World Biosphere and UNESCO site. Its preservation is integral for safe drinking water for hundreds of thousands of South Jersey residents. 17 trillion gallons of pristine water flows through the Kirkwood-Cohansey aquifer underneath the Pinelands. And if corporations like South Jersey Natural Gas have their way, miles of high-pressure pipeline would be horizontally drilled beneath streams, rivers, and wetlands that run just about the entire length of the aquifer. The Kirkwood-Cohansey is a sole source aquifer, so if one portion of it becomes contaminated, it affects the whole aquifer. It's also very shallow, so what happens on land affects what happens below. It affects the aquifer. So the Christie-backed Pinelands commissioners apparently didn't understand or comprehend the importance of the Pinelands as a drinking water source, or chose to ignore it. But this can be stopped. Clean Water Action, with all of our environmental friends and partners here, is urging Governor Murphy to use his power to make new appointments to the commission and change its leadership. Because the Pinelands are sacrosanct, and anyone who does not realize that or defend that position does not deserve to be a Pinelands commissioner. Yes.
Mitchell. I'm the policy director at New Jersey Conservation Foundation, and I want to add a couple of points to what's already been said about why the Pinelands matter. There are so many reasons why the Pinelands matter, but I think inherently the Pinelands are New Jersey's wilderness. It's still a wild place. And the International Biosphere Reserve, as has been mentioned, which is an extraordinary treasure, but all the more so because it's found and thrived in our small populated state, as so many of our state's leaders have recognized for decades. The Pinelands is the last large intact coastal ecosystem between New Hampshire and Virginia. That is actually incredible if you think about it. It's here in New Jersey, and it's a resilient ecosystem, even relatively resilient to impacts from climate change if we protect it from fragmentation and all of the development pressures coming at it from its perimeters. If we do that, it can maintain its biological diversity just really because it naturally has so many components of a southern ecosystem. So as New Jersey warms, the pinelands are better able to cope with those changes because it's a southern ecosystem. The key part of the Pinelands plan is that there is a core area that is supposed to be protected. There is not supposed to be whittling away at the core. And I fear that what is happening now is we're not just whittling away at the edges, we're whittling away at the core. And we need to work harder to ensure that the decisions that are being made, some of which probably seem like they're small decisions, aren't inadvertently or otherwise whittling away and eating away at the core. That is what the Pinelands Comprehensive Management Plan is supposed to prevent. And I think it's easy for decisions to seem isolated, but when you take them as a whole and you have them, repeatedly happening in some cases, as we're seeing in the pines, they can have a really long-lasting impact. I think we need the Commission to be doing public hearings on significant projects like some of the recent mining proposals that have gone through. They can't be done, those applications should not just be handled among the staff. It should really go to the Commission, and there should be a robust public process. And when we're allowing any kind of resource extraction, like sand mining, there should be really robust surveys looking at whether there are rare plants, rare animals, and we need permanent protections should those projects go forward. We need permanent protections for all of the areas surrounding that so that we don't keep expanding our human impact in the core into precious areas. Thank you very much.
Thank you. My name is Alexandros, and I'm with New Jersey League of Conservation Voters. Last November, New Jerseyans showed up to the polls to vote for the environment. In fact, nearly 5,000 people signed a petition supporting a change to the Pinelands Commission leadership. They elected Governor Phil Murphy, who has thus far proven himself a conservation leader. We are here today to make sure he keeps his promise to New Jersey families of protecting clean drinking water, clean air, and open space in our state. In New Jersey LCV Education Fund's Environmental Agenda 18, created in collaboration with nearly 30 environmental partners, many of whom you've already heard from and are behind me, we asked that the governor, within his first year, strengthen the Pinelands Commission with appointees who support the objectives of the Pinelands Acts and who will prioritize the planning of the Pinelands Comprehensive Plan. We are hoping we can celebrate this accomplishment as soon as possible. The Pinelands is one of New Jersey's most precious crown jewels. I'll never forget the first time I walked through one of the Pine Barrens' dark forests, listening for the unique call of the Pine Barrens tree frog, enjoying the crystal clear sky and fresh air you can only find in preserved natural places such as these. There is truly no place on earth like it. It is so critical we preserve the Pinelands for not only these 5,000 petition signers, but also for the millions of people who rely on its clean drinking water. New Jersey League of Conservation Voters urges Governor Murphy to move nominations to the Pinelands Commission as quickly as possible to stop dangerous development and promote smart growth that protects the Pinelands. It's time to appoint people who will use science-based decision-making and will commit to protecting one of New Jersey's most pristine water sources. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Doug O'Malley. I'm the Director of Environment New Jersey. I'm proud to be joined by all of our environmental allies here, and thank you to the Pinelands Preservation Alliance for putting together this event. The legacy of the Pinelands Commission is a long one, and it is a long one focused on the preservation of the pines and the upholding of the Comprehensive Management Plan. During the Christie administration, there was a clear attempt to undermine the pines and its protections and to undermine the Comprehensive Management Plan. And we are here today to stand up and say that those days should be over, and we need new leadership at the Pines. We need a new executive director, a new chair, and new commissioners to represent the Pines. And the reason is quite simple. Governor Christie played Bridgegate-like politics with the Pinelands and with Pinelands commissioners. And we are here as an environmental community to stand up for the commissioners that we were able to protect and to remember the ones that got fired for working to protect the pines, standing up and having an independent voice and working to protect the Comprehensive Management Plan. We're here to remember former Mayor Bob Jackson, the only African-American member of the Pinelands Commission, a former mayor of West Cape May. And Bob Jackson was fired by Governor Christie because he stood up for the Pinelands. We're also here to remember Leslie Fagala. Leslie represented Cumberland County and was fired by Cumberland County after 17 years of service. We're here to remember Darcy Green, who still serves on the commission, but who Governor Christie tried to replace more than 4 years ago. And we're also here to remember Ed Lloyd, who still serves on the commission, but Governor Christie tried to fire just less than a year ago. And then, of course, we're also here to remember the fact that the current chair of the Pinelands Commission, Sean Erlin, got there because Mark Lobauer, a Republican from Camden County, from Pennsauken, was fired by Governor Christie. Mark Lobauer has stood up and has served as an independent, bipartisan voice for the Pinelands and has been willing to stand up for the Pinelands Comprehensive Management Plan despite the opposition of Governor Christie. Those are the voices that we need to have to represent this commission, because at the end of the day, the Pinelands Commission is greater than one person or one commissioner. It's about an idea to protect what is truly a gift, a sacred gift to New Jersey, a gift that we fought collectively in this community more than 40 years ago to protect from all sorts of infrastructure projects, as well as to protect the drinking water that lays beneath it. But it is a gift that demands constant vigilance, and a gift, well, not only for all of us, but for this entire state. And that's why it's critical, 10 months in to Governor Murphy's administration, it's critical that the governor appoint a new chair for the Pinelands Commission, the governor appoint a new executive director that actually believes in the comprehensive management plan and believes in protecting the Pinelands, and also works to appoint new commissioners. That is what the Pinelands Commission deserves and demands, and that's what we're asking for today. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Jennifer Coffey. I'm the Executive Director of the Association of New Jersey Environmental Commissions, otherwise known as ANJAC. ANJAC's mission is to help municipalities make good decisions for the environment. I want to thank everybody for being here today, and I want to thank Governor Murphy for taking action to appoint strong new leadership in the New Jersey Highlands region and for the New Jersey Highlands Council. The New Jersey Highlands, like the Pinelands, is particularly important because it's a region that protects our drinking water. The New Jersey Highlands protects drinking water for nearly 7 million people. Now, it's time for the governor to take action to protect the New Jersey Pinelands. As we've heard, the Pinelands is a unique environment that is classified as a biosphere reserve, both in the United States and by UNESCO. 1 million people receive drinking water from the New Jersey Pinelands. All of the current appointments, as you have heard, on the Pinelands Commission are expired. This is an unacceptable situation to protect the drinking water of New Jersey residents. It's the governor's responsibility to ensure that New Jersey protects the legacy that was established for the New Jersey Pinelands more than 40 years ago, so that we protect the drinking water for today's residents, for today's children, and for the children of tomorrow. So we are all standing here today calling on Governor Murphy to appoint strong leaders for the New Jersey Pinelands Commission so that we protect this World Biosphere Site and protect drinking water now and into the future. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jeff Kittle, New Jersey Sierra Club. And the Sierra Club, over 40 years ago, was very instrumental in helping to get the Pinelands National Reserve Act passed, as well as the State Act. And we've watched over 40 years of the Commission doing its job in protecting the environment and having one of the most successful growth management plans anywhere in the country. Well, that ended a few years ago when Governor Christie decided to have his Saturday Night Massacre and go after the commissioners who voted against the South Jersey gas pipeline when it was blocked. We're here today because Governor Christie has been out of office for now 10 months, but he still controls the Pinelands Commission. and that has to end, and it has to end now. Governor Christie is gone, but his appointments are still there every day, trying to weaken protections of the Pinelands. They're there every day trying to turn the CMP into the compromise of management plans or into more pipelines for the Pinelands. We're here today to say to the governor, you made a commitment when you were running that you would replace commissioners and put people on there who stand up for the Pinelands. Well, that day is long past gone. You have to do it now. We cannot wait. Every day of delay is a day of risk for the Pinelands. Every day of delay means that UN Biosphere Reserve is being threatened by development and changes in pipelines. Every day of delay means more fossil fuel infrastructure, more impact from climate change, more development. Every day of delay means you're breaking your oath of office to uphold the Constitution of the state, because we have people in power who don't care about the Constitution, they don't care about the Pinelands. They want to turn the Pinelands Act into the Pipelines Act. And right now, we're in court along with Pinelands Preservation Alliance and some other groups on Pineland pipelines. We are concerned, Sierra Club is that if those court cases get remanded back to the Pinelands, you'll have the same bobbleheads rubber stamping them again. And that's why it's urgent for him to replace those commissioners that were put in by Governor Christie, whose mission is to take care of special interests. And that's why he should sack Sean Erlin, a developer from Burlington County, and replace him with someone who actually cares about the Pinelands. And that's why Nancy Wittenberg, who has exceeded his authority as executive director time and time again, should be shown out the door and sent off to retirement. It is too urgent of an issue to let it slip through the cracks of government and appointments. It is really sad because we don't even have nominations, let appointments. When McGreevy was put into office, by this time we had 6 wonderful people being nominated for the Pinelands Commission. We haven't even heard who the people may be. We can't allow the delay. Governor Murphy, keep your commitment to the people of New Jersey. Keep your commitment to the Pinelands. Keep the commitment to your oath of office and uphold the laws of the state and protect the Pinelands for now and for future generations. The Pinelands are not only critical for our state, they are our Yellowstone, they are our Yosemite. They are like no place else in the world. They have plant species and everything else there that you can't find anywhere else. This is our legacy. For 40 years we've fought to protect the Pinelands, and you have to stand up and get good commissioners there to protect them for the next 40 years. This is as urgent as anything else you could do as governor. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I just want to say in closing that Pinelands commissioners take an oath. They take an oath to make sure that the rules embodied in the Pinelands Comprehensive Management Plan are followed. But not only that, they take an oath to the Pinelands, not to administrations. So as administrations change, they're there making sure that the Pinelands rules are enforced day after day, administration after administration. That's how it's set up, that's how it should continue to be, and that's what we need restored. So we're asking Governor Murphy to do that, to make sure that the appointments, that he makes appointments, but not only that, the appointments that he makes are ones that pledge that allegiance to the Pinelands, not to the Murphy administration, not to a future administration. That we make sure those people care about making sure that the Pinelands looks the same decades from now as it does today. And that's why it's been in place for 40 years, and our hope is that many, many more decades to come. I just would also like to thank the 5,000 people that signed petitions in the box down here that I'll be dropping off to Governor Murphy's office, asking that he do this, that he make appointments, restore that integrity. And there are many more people than that 5,000 that care about the Pinelands, that have shared their concerns over decisions that have happened over the past couple of years. And they will continue to be a force to be reckoned with to make sure the Pinelands is here for years to come. So thank you. We'll take any.
In your minds, is there a deadline? Do you want to see these? I mean, if these go by the end of the year without nominations, are we there now?
Well, that's a good point. We're here today because we think it needs to happen now. Definitely, 10 months in, understandably, there are a lot of things that have been going on with the administration. Governor Murphy, as noted, has done some really impressive first starts on dealing with climate change. And so now it's time to sit back and say, okay, what else needs to be fixed? And now's the time. So we will see. We had sent a letter on behalf of all the organizations here. We were dropping off the petitions, and our hope is that something happens before the end of the year.
Have you had conversations with the governor's office, and have you suggested appointments
Yes.
to fill those things? What's their response?
They're looking into it. We have received phone calls, so that is promising. We have sent it to a variety of leaders within the administration that have started having those conversations, and so we're hopeful that this will happen soon.
I just wanted to add that at this point on, anything bad that the Pinelands Commission does, it's going to be up to the governor to veto those minutes, because he has to make those appointments, because that commission can still do a lot of damage to the Pinelands, and so it's now on him. And it's been on him for a while. We did an email alert this summer and got over 1,000 people to email the governor's office. We can't allow it to delay. You know, by this time in 2002, Ed Lloyd and Robert Jackson were all up for nominations, and we can't. Delay is putting the Pinelands at risk every day.
And I will say this, Governor Murphy did respond saying that his team was looking at this, so I wanted to give him credit for that. You know, didn't directly mention that, and that's important, and we appreciate that response.
You guys willing to go on record on who you've suggested?
No,
As far
not
as
this
that
time. There's a list of all very good people, people that have served in the past, new people that are willing to serve.
Is the holdup in the governor's office, or is it in the legislature?
Well, there's a process, right? So the governor has to make those appointments, but of course those appointments need to be approved by the senators in their district as part of the courtesy process. And then of course it has to go through the Judiciary Committee before going to the full Senate for a vote. So of course it takes some time to make sure that everyone is in line when you make those decisions and you make those nominations. So no one can say for sure.
They haven't given any indication how soon they're going to make some nominations
No,
then?
we have not.
And some of the people that we had, you know, put names that have not been contacted. Some have, others haven't.
Do you want to go on record on which commissioners you think should be replaced?
Well, the one thing I will say,
We'll do some bar.
and I wasn't going to a specific note, but Commissioner Ashman, who's been there since the beginning of the Pinelands Commission creation,
Pinelands, she was there.
and the Pinelands, she is someone that is the model, right? Someone that knows the Pinelands rules inside and out, that has dedicated her life to its protection, and she is one that wants to step down, but she is a position that needs to be filled with someone that embodies those same beliefs and ethics and taking the oath to the Pinelands and not to administrations, and has stood the test of time. So that is someone I could say that without a doubt needs to be filled promptly.
We have four ex-governors.
From our standpoint.
We have four ex-governors that have gone on record as saying they're very supportive of protections for the Pinelands. One has already served. Has there been any conversations with the other three about whether they'd be interested?
No, and I don't think they would be, but of course, there is only two left, right?
Sorry. I'm saying. That would be.
Any other questions?
Movie for Pinelands.
Good, thanks.
All right, thank you everyone
Thanks,
for coming
everybody.
today.